Ritesh, could you tell us a bit about Wetlands International and its current focus in India?
Wetlands International is one of the only global organizations that works solely on one ecosystem, that is wetlands worldwide. We have 20 offices with over 200 staff working across the globe with about 10,000 volunteers working with us. It has a mix of national members, governments are members, NGOs are members, and it is focused on conservation and sustainable use or wise use of wetlands worldwide.
Headquartered in?
It is headquartered in the Netherlands. We have an office in the ETA, but we have also regional offices. The office in India is a South Asia regional office,
I see.
which works on programs starting from Pakistan till Myanmar.
How old is the operation in South Asia?
South Asia operation started in 1996.
I see.
And
the focus?
South Asia program is largely began with water issues, water and wetlands, water and integrated river basin management issues, and continues to work on that vein, but also bringing in development issues as we go along. And one of the responses is talking about resilience, livelihood resilience in the ecological and socio-ecological systems perspective. So it is in that vein that we continue to work.
Looking at South Asia, what are the main challenges as far as wetlands go? I mean, if you had to list 3 or 5, what were the most important, most pressing?
Water and food security per se are the major challenges, and the way wetlands are integrated into these policies. If the integration happens right, you will be able to harness the benefits of wetlands. If they are not harnessed properly, or if the wetland functions are not understood, these policies might be the most detrimental policies for wetlands. To give you an example, you can convert a wetland and grow food, but then you lose the multiple benefits of the wetlands. So the internalization of wetland ecosystem services into food and security policies and practice that we do on ground are some of the greatest challenges in the region.
In terms of geography, which are the areas you are concerned with the most in South Asia?
We work on virtually all types of wetland systems except coral reefs, which we have an indirect influence on, but no direct. So we work on high altitude systems, which are wetlands above 3,000 meter AMSL, till mangrove ecosystems. So I just saw a brochure on Green Coast in Sri Lanka, which was a flagship project that South Asia office led in the region on conservation of mangroves.
You mentioned the science and policy gap. How do you work on bridging that gap?
One of the roles that Wetlands International has is to be a communicator of knowledge. We do work on creating knowledge, but what we also act as you'll say, identifying the right knowledge and communicating it with the right risks and uncertainties to places where they matter. For example, if you know there is a good wetland sign sitting somewhere on, say, mangrove protection values, but if you are unaware that this cannot be 100% upscaled, we'll have to say that to the policymaker in that way. So it is the role of Wetlands International. It communicates knowledge base to the right people, and that is the primary role that we have. But we also at times commission research on areas that we feel are creating wrong policies. And one of the examples is the peatland issue in Southeast Asia, wherein peatlands are heavily being converted, including Malaysia, for palm oil plantation. So on one side, you're working on climate change policies of shifting to different sources of oil, like biofuels. But when you drain peatlands or when you convert peatlands, you're also loosening up carbon. So it is almost a negative, impact on climate efforts. So what Wetlands International did was continued and systematic research on the impacts of peatland degradation on carbon emission, and that has taken some good responses. For example, European Commission has banned import of palm oil or biofuels from Southeast Asian countries which are from drained peatlands, and we are continually intensifying our efforts in that. Similarly, on high altitude systems, we are working on to show what are their potential in acting as regulators of flow regimes, and thereby Irrespective of regional political differences, we all have to work together on conservation of high altitude wetland systems. So we are working on that. It is basically Wetlands International is about getting the right science to the right people, or people who matter.
Geographically, which are your three most active intervention areas in South Asia, in India?
Uh, Geographically, Chilika Lake on the east coast of India, which is a coastal lagoon, Loktak Lake, which is an inland basin in the Manipur River
Northeast.
basin, and we are also active on the Gujarat coast on mangroves. So right now, if you say currently, these are fairly huge areas that we are working on.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.